We are live. Hey everyone. I always like to give everybody sort of a minute to pop on, grab a cup of coffee or tea, or if you're in the US, your shake, and we are ready to rock and roll with another business opportunity call. And if you are new to this opportunity, or if you are just kind of hearing about this for the first time, I want to just say welcome, and we're excited to teach you a little bit about what we do as coaches, how we earn an income, and what this business has done for us. So I am a member of a team called the Dream Team United. My name is Katie Ersta. I've been coaching for 5 years, and alongside a few of the other leaders in the organization, we are going to be sharing with you guys a little bit about how we do this and what we do and how all of it works. So I thought I would share a little bit about my story and then just dive into Beachbody, the company, and what it is. I have been coaching for a little over 5 years, and my journey with Beachbody, it actually started when I was at my peak in terms of my weight. It was at my highest, and I was really unhappy. I was really uncomfortable in my own skin, and I was watching an infomercial late one evening. And while I was watching the infomercial, it was for P90X, which was created by Tony Horton. And I remember watching this and thinking to myself, there is no way that these people are real. Nobody can actually physically do those things. Nobody can do that many push-ups or pull-ups. And I just remember kind of brushing it aside and convincing myself that I wasn't capable of doing it. And another infomercial came on, and I didn't even connect it was the same company, but it was Insanity, and there was no equipment, and it was cardio. And I just decided on a whim that I was gonna purchase Insanity and do it from my basement. And it was by far, of all the programs I've ever done, one of the hardest ones I've ever done. And I just remember after I completed that, and I didn't know what coaching was, I didn't have any support, I did it all on my own, but I remember thinking when I was done, wow, like I felt amazing. I felt good, and I felt like I couldn't believe that I was able to get through that program. And after that, I associated coaching with programs, and I never really connected the dots before, but I started seeing people post on social media about, you know, just programs and support and groups and coaching. And so I contacted a girl and I said, you know, I finished Insanity. Am I like a coach? Like, do I like, thinking I got like some piece of paper in the mail that would say, you're a coach now, like, congratulations. And she kind of signed me up without my full understanding, to be totally honest with you. She said, yeah, you should totally coach. You totally understand the program, and you can help other people on their journey. And I thought, sure, why not? And that's really how my coaching journey really started, kind of accidentally. But I think what's really cool to note is that in my business over the past 5 years, I have always just been curious about the next goals that I can set for myself. So, you know, when I started coaching, I was just curious if this coaching thing could help me keep off the weight that I had lost with Insanity. And then it became, I was curious about what that Shakeology was all about. You know, why was everyone talking so highly about this Shakeology, and could it really make you feel that amazing? And could it help me increase my energy? And could it really help me, you know, just keep off the weight by cutting out those cravings? And then my curiosity grew from there, and it became, you know, how can I maybe get this paid for, like this product paid for? And then it became, how can I maybe help with the mortgage payment or pay for the groceries, and how can I maybe create a part-time income with this? And then eventually it became, how can I create a full-time income with this? And that's what I've been able to do over the past 5 years. So really it was all about making sure that I understood that my health was first. And that's what I love about Beachbody, is that they understand that coaching and success in coaching works when people are putting their health first. You're making your health a priority. And honestly, we all benefit from that. True story. I am actually a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed a little over 3.5 years ago, and I was in the middle of building my business. And I remember just leaning into the organization and learning more about how coaching was so much more than just weight loss, and how what we do as coaches supports people on whatever their health journey is. And so while I was fighting cancer and growing my business, my kids were also seeing mom do those hard things. My kids were also seeing that there was sort of this ripple effect with coaching. When mom takes care of herself, she's also sort of showing us that we need to do the same thing. And I know that that's made an impact, because even my son now will be like, Mom, we just do hard things. That's what we do. And they see me every morning in the gym, working out, taking care of myself. They understand the value of clean eating and healthy choices that I don't know that I would have implemented with them if I hadn't taken this opportunity, if I hadn't leaned into the business. And so that's a little bit of my story and what coaching means to me. But I think it's important that you understand the background of the company. Beachbody actually started in 1997. Our CEOs are John Condon and Carl Deichler, and they had an infomercial business, and they would put these fitness programs on late night infomercials. And we're talking like the old school Slim and Six, Turbo Jam. You guys have probably seen them before. They would put them on, and people would go on and they would purchase. And he noticed, Carl actually noticed that they had this message board. So this was before the days of Facebook and all of that. They had this like message board that was set up, and people would buy the programs, and then they would go onto these message boards, and they would be like talking about the programs, and they would be talking about their results, and they would be giving each other feedback, and they were almost like creating this community, this culture of support for one another. And so he got together with John Condon, and he basically said, could we make this into something? Like, could we create a network of coaches who become the people who share what we do, and in turn, they actually make an income doing so. And the idea was kind of crazy, and he actually approached it with people who were messaging on these boards. He went right to the source. He went to the people who were using the products and the programs, and he said, I have this crazy idea, but it's just crazy enough that it might work. And so he went and he asked them about it, and some people were like, dude, you're off your rocker. Like, this is not gonna work. And then other people were like, maybe it will. And so with 40 people, and this was back in, I want to say it too fast, I want to say like 2007 or 2006 is when the actual team Beachbody was created. He got together with 40 people, and they were like, okay, let's give it a go. And that is where Team Beachbody was actually founded. So when it was created, he decided that it would be based on helping people achieve results with the programs. And then eventually they realized how key nutrition was to these programs, and they created Shakeology. And throughout our trainings, and while we stand for educating you guys on what Shakeology is, it's really important to note a couple things. Shakeology is not a diet shake. It is not a simple protein shake. It is a nutrient-dense meal replacement. It is loaded with superfoods from around the world, and there is no artificial coloring, no artificial flavoring, no artificial ingredients whatsoever. There is a stamp of approval on there that says we are fueling your body with the foods and the nutrients that you need to really run at your best, to be your best. I've been drinking it for over 5 years now, and I don't miss it. I don't go a day without my shake. And it has done, and all these girls can talk about their own testimonials, but for me, it has been the key for me to really maintain my results over the past 5 years, but also to make sure that I am giving my body the fuel it needs to run at its best. And I know that I drink mine at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon because that's when my cravings hit. And I know that the coaching opportunity has really allowed me to educate myself on those things. But the cool thing is that they understood that not everybody is a personal trainer. Not everyone is a fitness expert, but that doesn't mean that you can't support other people on their journey. And that's exactly what a coach is. A coach is just somebody who is in your corner. They are rooting for you. They want to see you succeed. And they are the person that when you really don't feel like working out, you know they're going to check in with you. And you know that they're going to want to make sure that you are doing your best. That's our job every day, is to help people. And when we help people achieve results, we see results as well. And guys, I'm going to turn this over to my friend Julia, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about what the ins and outs are about the business, how we actually run the business. Now, there's a virtual component, meaning through social media, and then there's another component through the apps that are provided to us as coaches, so the tools that they provide us to help people. And then, of course, for those of us who are in the gyms, or we maybe have our own personal training community, this is going to be an opportunity that's going to bring your own I'm trying to find the word. It's going to bring your own choices, your own network to the next level. So I am going to let Julia take over, and it is all you, girl. I'm going to mute myself.
All right, thanks, Katie. My name is Julia Overfield, guys. I've been coaching for about 3 years. And real quick, I'll tell you a little bit about how big of a failure I kind of was before I started with Beachbody programs, and I didn't even realize it. I was at home. Going to the gym really wasn't an option for me. I had 3 kids under the age of 2. I had just had twins. I was in a wonderful, magical, glorious place, but at the same time in a deep, lonely place, because I really couldn't get out and do much of anything. So a couple years before I had the kids, I had purchased Insanity. However, I wasn't as amazing at it as Katie was, and I popped the warm-up in, and literally halfway through the warm-up, I was like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely horrible. There's no way I'm ever going to do this. I packed it back up, and I mailed it back. And then probably about 6 to 8 months later, insert P90X at my front door. And I put that in, and I started day 1, and day 2, I was so sore. I was like, I'm going to hurt myself. This is ridiculous. This program is no good. And I packed it up and I sent it back. And come Brazil butt lift, I was going to do it, guys. And these are all Beachbody programs. I was week 1, I got it. 7 days in, I am doing this. 8 days in, this is horrible. These programs don't work. I'm not seeing any results whatsoever. Boxed it right back up and sent it back in. So if there was a coach that was dealing with me, because I didn't know about the coaching aspect at all, I would just apologize to this point right now. But I really failed at every single program I got to work at home. Tried going to the gym, the kids would cry at the daycare and they wouldn't stop. So I kept watching my friend on Facebook, and she was just working out at home, and I was just intrigued, and I messaged her, and she told me what she did. She was a Beachbody coach, which I had no desire to do that, but she said, would you like to try one of these workout programs? And it was called T25, and I said, sure, why not? Let's give this program a try. So I don't know, I get it in, and all I know is 52 days into a 60-day program, I was still doing it. And coming from Insanity, P90X, Brazil butt lift, failure altogether, to get in 52, 53 days into T25, there was only one thing that changed, and that was the element of a challenge group. And that's kind of like my segue to talk into what it is and how important it obviously must be, because for someone like me who was just utterly trying everything possible and couldn't make it stick, this challenge group had to be the missing link, because it's the only thing that changed. Challenge groups are run by the coaches, and it's kind of run by everybody that's in there, because it's a community where we're all lifting each other up 24/7. So you might have the worst day of your life, but you have a no judgment zone to go into and check into, and the people are going to help lift you up. And we're also going to be there to help celebrate all your successes, because let's face it, people kind of get tired if you're walking around tooting your own horn all the time, especially when it comes to fitness and maybe they're not doing it. But as far as the coach aspect of it, you want to give support to the people in the challenge groups. You want to be that place where they feel safe, where they feel comfortable, where they can get motivation, where they can be held accountable. If you're running a Facebook challenge group, you get to craft it, all these groups really, to be how you want it to be. So if you love a certain season that you're in, make it all about spring. Make it all about summer. Make it all about whatever you love, and then just pour yourself into it, and everybody's going to keep on going and keep on checking in. As far as adding in recipes and tips and giving people ideas on how to make it when they're on holiday or when they have school getting ready to start, and helping to figure out ways to make your dinner real quickly before you go, before you have to take your child to practice. We help. We're like the middleman between Google and the program. So we're just there to help fill in the blanks and just make it a really easy transition, and to help people stay accountable in that aspect. Beachbody came out with a tracker app, which is a really nice component because you can log your workouts, you can log your Shakeology, you can log your measurements, and your coach, we can see how our challengers are doing in there. So if Susie hasn't checked in 3 days, I would take it upon myself to send her a message and say, hey, how is everything going? I noticed you haven't checked in. Is there anything I can help you with? And normally at that point in time, if you're just giving people a little nudge here and there, it's enough to reboot again, because we all know the first couple days you are so excited and you're just going at 100%, but the newness wears off. And that's where we kind of pick up. Because after about a week in, 10 days in, if you're not really seeing great results yet, because it takes a little bit of time, that's where people quit. And this is when I like to tell people, I am the person here so you don't quit. That's the difference. We are here for a lifestyle change. You're not here for a 30-day program and then leave. So I really love all my people in the challenge groups, and I really let them know that we're a community together for it. And with the Beachbody Tracker app, what's really cool about that is a lot of people don't like Facebook, and that's okay. So I have a group that I run on my Beachbody Tracker app, and I have a Facebook group as well. And honestly, a lot of people, I'll merge them together. I'll have the Facebook group, but they really enjoy checking in and logging their workouts and Shakeology and everything like that. So I will also have them in tandem together. So you have the freedom to choose, what platform is going to be best for you. There's not anyone that's going to tell you you have to do it this way. We will definitely help guide you and give you suggestions, and just kind of go over different scenarios that work really well for others. But I know a lot of you guys are live instructors. I'm also a live instructor in Country Heat. I did go teach classes for a little while in a gym. Little too time consuming for me right at this point in my life, but I enjoy it. This is a great platform for anyone who works in a gym setting, or even just like fit club settings, things like that, because you're going to have an outlet for people to check into after they leave, because not everybody has the discipline to go work out with you and do whatever live training you have, and then go home and make great choices. A lot of times people do the workout with you, they go home and they get a burger and fries, and they think, I'm gonna go back tomorrow or the day after tomorrow and work out again. So if they have someone checking in and a place to check in where they can say, hey, what are you eating today? Guys, why don't we all just post how much water we drank today? Just fun ways to try to keep people engaged and working on their health and nutrition the entire time throughout the day is really a lifesaver. I like to tell my people, if you ever feel like you're gonna fall, if you ever feel like you're about to make like a really bad choice and you don't wanna do it as far as eating goes, post in the group before you do it. And every time they do, they refocus, and they still may have a piece of cake, but they're gonna have a small piece of cake with a couple bites and not eat 2 pieces of cake and 3 margaritas and then have a shot afterwards. So it's just that holding ground that we can just have for everyone, non-judgment. And I like it because you can put your own flair on it, especially with the Facebook groups. I like being able to hop in live. And with the Beachbody Tracker app, you can incorporate videos, add in files for recipes, for Shakeology, for meal planning is a huge thing I like to help with in there as well. And it's just a great support system. So I will pass this off to Taylor, and that's really it.
Thanks, Julia. Oh, I'm echoing. Can you hear me? You're good? Okay, I'm good. All right, guys, my name is Taylor. I have been coaching for about 3.5 years, and I'm going to talk to you about money, which is like my least favorite topic to talk about, but somehow I always end up having to talk about money. So this is great, especially with my husband. But for starters, I've been coaching for about 3.5 years. What happened was I was dancing professionally. I stopped dancing professionally and just like gained 30 pounds. I didn't know what happened. It was probably the pizza and the wings and the beer that I just was like, it was a free-for-all. And the next thing I knew, I had gained 30 pounds. So I met this guy who's now my husband. He loved going to the gym. I hated going to the gym. So I would go and like go on the elliptical because I was used to dancing and just like always being naturally fit because of that training. And I would go on the elliptical for like 10 minutes and then I'd get really mad and ask him if he was done yet. And he'd be like, we just got here. So then it was like in the shopping plaza and there was like restaurants in the shopping plaza. So I would just go sit in a restaurant or something while he finished working out. And I just could not lose the weight. And then a little bit later, and I didn't know why I couldn't lose the weight because I was going to the gym for 10 minutes a day. A little bit later, I married that guy. Still didn't lose the weight. So on my wedding day, I was my heaviest. 1 month after my wedding, my cousin passed away from leukemia. I continued to gain weight. And then about 8 months later, I was at a fundraising event where Katie Ersta was. She had just been diagnosed with cancer. I was helping run a fundraiser for cancer research in memory of Katie's husband and my husband's college hockey teammate. His name is Tim Paul. He had passed from lymphoma. I was using this fundraising as a way to grieve the loss of my cousin and really pour into her memory. And I met Katie there. And for some reason, she told me she coaches people through programs. And little did she know, like 2 weeks before, I had been watching an infomercial and there was this like 25-minute workout with Shaun T that had just come out. And I was like, that's it. That is my golden ticket to losing this 30 pounds. I'm going to buy this thing off this infomercial. And I did do 5 minutes of one DVD and I was like, this is insane. No one can do this. I didn't even know he had a workout program called Insanity that came out before T25. So if I would have known that, I never would have bought this 25-minute workout. But I put it on the shelf. Katie said she coached people through these programs. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I like you, Katie. So I'm going to give this a go. And I did. And she put me in her challenge group. I'll never forget the date. It was April 7th, 2014. I don't know why that date is like ingrained in my brain. But I made all these amazing friends, all these like funny people who just really held me accountable to what I was doing. And if I like slipped up a little bit, they were like, girl, it's okay. You're a human, not a robot. It's okay to have one piece of pizza. Just don't eat the whole pizza. Like really slowly helped me evolve this lifestyle. About that first 2 months in, so I did T25, which is an 8-week program. I lost 13 pounds, and then I went on to do PIO because that was a new program that came out, and I lost the rest of the weight. So I lost 30 pounds within like 3 months. It was about 10 pounds a month. I loved PIO so much, I ended getting up certified to teach PIO Live. I still teach PIO Live today and also Size Live. I was teaching dance full-time then, and my husband was like, this is great. Like, you're this new person. I love it. However, we're not paying for that powder anymore, that Shakeology anymore. That's not in the budget. And I was like, oh crap. So this is where I'm going to segue into how we talk about money. Because I really wanted to continue drinking Shakeology because what it had done for me was it helps digestion issues I was having. It helped curb cravings. So I would teach dance till really late at night. And then I would go to like a fast food restaurant. I would drive through a fast food restaurant and eat that on my way home from work. My husband is type 1 diabetic. I would buy him fast food also, and bring it home and feed it to him. And then slowly, as I started to understand what I was doing, I realized like I was slowly killing my husband by feeding him fast food every single day. So Shakeology was a addition into our lifestyle that we actually couldn't afford to not keep in our life. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this coaching thing, and all I'm going to do it for is to pay for my own Shakeology costs. I'm just going to help a couple people a month so I can cover the cost of my own Shakeology. And that's really how I got started with this business. I did that in my first month. I was like, okay, my Shakeology is covered. My husband's Shakeology is covered. Now what? So slowly with Katie, my upline coach, and with my husband and with my team, people on the Dream Team, United, we just started to set small goals, small income goals. So I remember my next goal, my husband was like, let's put gas in your car this month. So, he'd like write on his little, he loves Excel spreadsheet. So he'd write on his little spreadsheet how many challenge packs or how many new people I needed to help the next month and the next month, until one day he looked at me 2.5 years later and said, all right, babe, we're going to move to Florida. You don't need to teach dance anymore. That income we don't need. And I have this better job opportunity in Florida. We lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we're going to up and go. And I was like, what? Because I really hadn't been keeping track of how we had been slowly, stably growing this business over time with the tools that you're going to hear from Farron, actually, that the Dream Team had provided this amazing training for me to be able to know how to slowly grow this business into whatever I wanted it to be. Whether I wanted it to be this small thing that just covered the cost of my own Shakeology and maybe covered like some hobbies on the side that we really couldn't do before, like going out to eat, or now how it's my full-time income. So for you, someone who's like just looking into this business and you're like, I don't really understand what this could actually do for me in my life, because you guys are in the UK and we're just launching and it's this big, exciting thing. So for starters, the most important thing for you to understand is that when you're investing in becoming a coach, you're actually investing in yourself. So the money that you're putting into becoming a coach whenever you purchase your challenge pack, because none of you have Shakeology over there, so I'm not even going to talk about the opportunity to sign up as a coach except for with a challenge pack, which I would recommend you get the on-demand all-access challenge pack, which would be 160 pounds in your country. That is very hard for me to say, not dollars. And that's going to get you 1 whole year of on-demand all access. It's going to get you a month's supply of Shakeology. It's going to get you these like little tiny containers, and we'll talk to you about all of that on how you manage your food. But you're investing in yourself, and you're also getting to start a business. So for 160 pounds, you're investing in yourself and you're starting a business. That's like the best deal ever. It's a very low overhead. If you know what it takes to start a brick and mortar business, if any of you have opened up a business that is like a building, it does not cost $160 to start a business. And we always say on the Dream Team, like, invest in this business like it's $1 million business, because it is. It's a huge opportunity for you to get started. How you actually make money is whenever customers of yours order challenge packs or products, whether it's Shakeology or the performance line, which I think you're going to have Energize and Recover right off the get-go, different workout programs, different on-demand all-access options. When they order through you, you get 25% commission off of that product. So anything that's coming through your website, anyone that you are helping and is signing up with you as a coach, you're going to make 25% off of those purchases. As you start to build your team, this is where it gets really fun and where I like really have to think really hard before I say the words, because they're a little tricky. But as you start to build your team, you start to do something called cycling. And as you grow your team, so us, we're going to help you understand what that looks like for you and your business. So you'll start to cycle as you build a one leg versus the other leg, which is like very complicated to talk about in a brand new coach call, but you will learn about that as you go. So for different ranks that you are in the business, for how many coaches you have underneath of you and your team, you're going to cycle at different dollar amounts. When you're an Emerald coach, which is 2 coaches underneath of you, you're going to cycle at 14 pounds per cycle. And then as you move up to Ruby and Diamond, you'll go up to 16 and 18. Once you reach a certain level in the company, so 2-star diamonds and above, actually get paid out of what is called a cycle bonus pool at the end of every quarter. So if you are that rank, you will get paid Whatever the company has put into that pool based off of what the company has done, you will get a small portion of that divided out between the coaches, all the coaches at that level. So that's kind of like the logistical part of the compensation plan. But something that we say on our team all the time, the Dream Team United, is that we are a team that really doesn't believe that we deserve to make an income if we're not making an impact on other people's lives. So the coaches on this team, you're not going to see we're not going to bring in customers and then just have them figuring out what they're doing on their own. We really are plugging these people into challenge groups. We're meeting with them via like Zoom calls like this, or, you know, in person. If you're someone who loves to work with people in person, I teach live fitness classes, so I get to talk to a lot of my clients in person to really make sure that we're helping them reach their goals and figuring out what trigger points they might be having, what's going on with them in their lives. This isn't a sign someone up and just send them on their way type of business. This is a business where we're really helping people. And for me, this business was always plan B. This was never supposed to be plan A for us financially. But 1 year ago, on September 22nd, my husband and I was 29 weeks pregnant, and I went to the doctor for a routine checkup for my baby girl, and I heard the words that no human being I would never wish upon my worst enemy, but my daughter had passed away. I heard that she had no heartbeat, and I had to deliver her at 29 weeks, and my plan B, income-wise, was Beachbody, and it quickly became plan A because I couldn't work. I had a lot of therapy and recovering and downtime that had to come into play. And I'm just so grateful that this opportunity exists. Like my coffee mug says, grateful. Because I know that I wouldn't be here having this conversation on this call today if this company didn't exist. And if I didn't set the small financial goals for this business all along the way, because it truly held my family together. Financially, I didn't have to worry about a job because I had a job that was going to be there whenever I was ready to walk back into this office in my house. And I just feel so blessed that I actually even get to talk about this opportunity, because it truly is something that I will forever be grateful for and will continue to pay it forward for the rest of my life. So I'm sorry that I actually really suck about talking about money and cycling and whatnot, but that's really not what this opportunity for me is about. There are all these details that you are going to learn from this team on how to maximize your income potential for whatever your goals are. But if you just keep in your heart the real reason why you're doing this, and that's to help others, make an impact on their lives, and then you will be rewarded with income that is exponentially amazing every single day. I can't believe that this is what I get to do. But that's my spiel on income. Who's next? Bianca? Farron?
Yeah, it's me. And I'm actually glad that you got the money part and not me, because I'm like, just like you, I would totally do this for free. So it's hard for me to talk about compensation and plan as well. But it is nice that we get compensated for what we do, right? So my name is Bianca. I have been a coach for about 4 years, and I will be talking to you guys a little bit about what's different about Beachbody and the Dream Team. And although you may look at me and say, I know she's talking about difference because I look a little different, I actually am a little different. And actually that was one of the things that kind of held me back from becoming a coach right off the bat, because I looked around at what the Beachbody coaches were supposed to look like, and I didn't really feel like I exactly fit in. But I can say totally, with total sincerity today, 4 years later, that my difference is actually what has made me successful in this business. I actually fit in perfectly with Team Beachbody and our mission, and I fit in perfectly with the Dream Team. And you know, the things that set us apart, because the reason that I'm different and I'm here and I'm successful is exactly the reason why Beachbody is here and is successful. However many years later, we've been around since 1998. So you guys do the math. I'm not very good at math, but I'm good at coaching. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit about my backstory. So I actually came in as a client. I had gained 65 pounds in my pregnancy, my second pregnancy. I had always battled with depression and anxiety. And when I got pregnant with my middle girl, I had to get off all those meds. And I had come in from a place of having a couple of miscarriages before. And the doctor really advised that I stop my running, that I stopped my flying. I'm a flight attendant. I've been a flight attendant for 15 years. And they thought that maybe the radiation was what was causing my miscarriages and the running and all the stress I was putting in my body. So they said, stop doing that. So I had literally just stopped doing everything that I knew to be active, work, everything. And I just lay down on the couch and I ate cake. I love cake. So I gained 65 pounds. And I had always been that active girl. I've always liked exercise. Like somebody that deals with depression and anxiety, they know that, exercise releases happy endorphins and it helps you get off that depression and that, that anxiety kicks that you tend to go in. So I'd always been active. I've always loved exercise, but I never knew what to do about nutrition. Even though I'm a nurse, I'm like an actual nurse and I studied nutrition, I still couldn't get a hand of it, right? So after I had my baby girl, 8 months later, I went through all kinds of crazy diets. I took medication to try and lose weight. I tried all the crazy fixes, the cookie diet, everything that you can think of, I tried. And nothing worked because my mindset was not there. And not to mention I was in a severe postpartum depression that nobody knew about because I was very, very good at hiding it. I would literally cry myself to sleep. And my husband that slept next to me didn't even know that I was depressed. So 8 months after my baby was born, we had scheduled to go we had a meeting. We had relatives coming into town from California and we had to go meet them for dinner. And at that point, I realized that I really didn't go anywhere. I was just really isolated in my little hole. I didn't want to see my friends. I didn't want anybody to see me because I had gone over 200 pounds and that was my heaviest ever in my life. And I just didn't want anybody to see me like that. So at that point, I went into my closet and I tried to find something to wear and I had nothing. I had literally nothing in my closet that fit me. And I remember putting on maternity jeans. And my daughter was 8 months old at that point. And I cried. And at that point, I came clear with my husband. And I said, I don't know what to do about this weight. I can't take it anymore. And I made that turning point in my head. So of course, when you make a decision to do something right, the universe kind of conspires in your favor, right? So long and behold, I watched an infomercial for Insanity and I decided that's it. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to work out and I'm going to lose all this weight and everything's going to be great. So I ordered Insanity. I didn't know anything about coaching at that point. So honestly, trying to get around, I shouldn't even tell you guys this, but trying to get around on the company, I ordered it off Craigslist. And I met some guy in a sketchy parking lot and I got the Insanity, I brought it home. And I was so excited because I knew that this was it, that was the way that I was going to lose the weight. So I started doing Insanity and I was that person that would work out for 2 hours at the gym and then hit the pizza shop on the way home. And that's exactly what I did when I did Insanity. I was burning 800 calories during the day and I was eating pizzas and cheeseburgers at night. And sure enough, it didn't work. I lost 4 pounds during the first month of Insanity. I was totally frustrated. And then again, the universe conspired and my best friend had become a Beachbody coach. She was doing this program called T25 and she was drinking this shake called Shakeology. And I started watching her and she called me and she said, I don't want to say anything, but as your friend, I want to offer help if you want to lose the weight. And, she wasn't that subtle about it, but she said, girl, you need to drink this shake. And I said, fine. So I bought the shake. I signed up as a coach right off the bat because I like to save money and it was a 25% discount. So I signed up as a coach. And sure enough, first month after, she put me into this group, into this challenge group. And in this challenge group, they started talking about clean eating, which I knew nothing about. They started talking about eating every 3 hours. I knew nothing about. They taught me how to make the shake, which I turned up my nose the whole time about the shake. I'm like, I don't drink shakes. I eat my food. I was that girl. I did not want the shake. I actually had Shakeology and I didn't even open it because I didn't want to not like it and have to return it and, disappoint my friend. But then she called me and she said, are you drinking your shake? And this is how you make it. She actually on the phone walked me through how to make Shakeology. And it was like love at first taste. And so after 1 month of doing T25 with Shakeology and clean eating and checking into the groups, I'd lost 17 pounds. And I was just like, what is this magic stuff? Like everybody needs, do people know about this? And I was just so excited. I just couldn't keep it to myself. I started talking to people, but everybody that I knew, I wanted them to know that there was an opportunity, that they could lose weight, that they could do it from home, and that it was in a healthy way and it was effective. And I was just so excited. I just couldn't shut up about it. And everybody that wanted in on it, I would just send them to my friend and I would refer them to her. And I would say, you know, this girl wants to lose weight and she wants in the challenge group. And she's like, girl, you're a coach. You're a coach. You coach them. And of course, I had zero self-confidence. You have to remember where I came from, you know, from a place of, you know, I was still way overweight and I did not have the confidence that I could do this. I wasn't my friend. I wasn't the blonde, pretty girl. I was just an overweight Latina. What did I have to offer? And so I, you know, little by little, as the weight started to come off, my self-confidence started to come up. And little by little, I started to flourish as a coach. And then I said, you know, I thought to myself, well, maybe if I could just help one person, maybe if I could just coach that one person and see how it goes. And so I started like that. I literally coached one person. And then the next month, I coached 2 people. And then the next month, 3 people. And it just grew. And it was just like an organic thing. But what made the difference for me is the Beachbody difference. It's the fact that I had always had the fitness, but I was missing the nutrition. And even if I had the nutrition, I was still missing the support. So when all those 3 things came together, and that's what we offer, when a person orders a program from us and they get placed in this challenge group, they get the fitness, they get the nutrition, and they get the support. And that's really the secret sauce. That's where we make all the difference. So I could talk to you guys on and on about how we're different from other companies that have similar business models. You know, we don't have a huge startup fee. We don't have inventory that you need to take at home and resell to people and push products. I could talk to you about that. But really, to me, the big difference is the fact that we get people results. And we get people results because we have those 3 components that just mash in beautifully, and they really tackle people where they need it most. So if their struggle is with the fitness, we got that. Our programs are amazing. Like this, I'm in like an 80-day obsession test group. If you guys don't know about the 80-day obsession, it's a program that's coming out in January. It's going to be like, going to blow people's minds with results. I'm getting crazy results, but the programs themselves, amazing. Like there's no comparing to anything that's out there in the market. Then we get the nutrition. Shakeology, like Katie mentioned, and everybody else, like I think every coach here talked about Shakeology. I can tell you what it did for me. I love cake and I can say no to cake. I can say no to cake because I drink Shakeology. I drink my shake in the morning and my cravings are gone. I don't, you know, coming from a nursing perspective, I had to research. I was like, okay, what is it about Shakeology that makes it, you know, that I don't crave? Because this is amazing. This is crazy. Like, how does this happen? And so I researched and I found out that there's an amino acid that is in Shakeology that supplies that missing ingredient, that nutrient that most of us are missing. And that's why we crave the unhealthy stuff. We crave the chocolate because we don't have enough magnesium in our body. We crave certain things because your body is smart and is telling you that you need something. And as much as you think, oh, I eat really healthy, I eat apples, organic apples every day, you have to understand that the soil that apple comes from is not the same as it was 50 years ago. So that apple is not as nutritious as you think it is, you know? So Shakeology comes in and it just fills in that missing link for people who think that they eat healthy, but they don't. And then for people who don't eat healthy, it just really is it. It's like the Holy Grail. You need it. You just need it. And then of course, the missing part, the support, which is what I was so so desperately craving and needing, coming in that postpartum depression where I isolated myself and I was in a place where I didn't know who to ask for help. And when I was in that group and people were lifting me up and saying, oh my gosh, 17 pounds in the first month, keep going, that's amazing. That was it. That was what made the difference. My coach calling me and telling me to freaking open the bag and make the shake, that was the difference. So that's where we come in, and we really, what we have to offer is just simply amazing for that fact. That's our Beachbody difference. So I'll pass, I like to talk, I'm Latina. So I know I talked more than I should have. Farron, are you next?
Yes.
I talk fast and I talk a lot.
You make me want to sign up all over again. So I'm Farron Duran, and I am a coach, obviously, and I've just been a coach a little under 2 years. And so this is really exciting for me. And I think this, like right here, to to look at all of us, and then, you know, like I've only been doing this under 2 years, and to be able to have this opportunity to go to the UK and to go to all the places that I've been really shows that this business has a ton of potential. And so a little bit about me, I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 2, and I found myself in Beachbody. I knew about all the programs. I loved them. I knew they worked, but I constantly kept seeing these people called coaches. But what I noticed about these like coaches wasn't that they were fit. Like I wasn't attracted to that, like them being fit or them being healthy. It was the community. And so I just remember thinking like, I want to be having fun. I want to do this. They're talking about helping people. That I want that to be me. And so I remember seeing a post. And so maybe you found one of us because you saw a post about these coaches, and you're like, well, what the heck is all this about? And if you've seen any of our posts, we talk all the time about community and love and support, and it's always about that. And so that's what I was drawn to, and that's how I got here. And everything that I thought it was going to be, it was everything that and more. And I needed it at that time because as a new mom of a little person that was crazy and she was crying all the time, I was very, very depressed. And I was one of those things that I didn't want to admit to anybody. And I would cry in the closet. I would lie to my husband and say like, I just didn't feel good, so I wouldn't have to be go out. I started like losing friends. I wouldn't do play dates. It was just this spiral. And what I was missing was like, support. And I wanted to love myself again. And so it was like coaching and fitness all came in at the same time. And it like literally changed my life. And to be able to pay that forward is better than any money. Like, we talk about the compensation and all, but like being able to pay that forward and watch someone else and get these messages that say, thank you for helping me. That's really where like coaching is for me. So when I joined into this, I had some like limiting beliefs. And so if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I don't know if I could be a coach, like, because I don't know the first thing to do. And I get that a message a lot from people when I say you should be a great coach, your social media is awesome, or you already look like you're helping people. And one of the biggest things, like, I don't know the first thing to do. And that is like, I had no idea what to do. I had no friends on Facebook. I was that person that didn't want to friend anybody. I didn't have an Instagram. I didn't really even know what Instagram was. I didn't know what Twitter was. But I just knew that I had this passion for helping others. And seriously, like, that's the one question I ask you before you start. Like, and people say, like, what would I need to do to be a coach? And I always say, do you have a passion for helping others? And if you can listen to this and your answer is yes, then yes, you can absolutely freaking do this. You will find a way. Because if your passion is to help even one person, or just to help yourself or your family, your husband, your kids, like, you will find a way. And that was me. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I found my way. And I think that is like the best part, and that you're on this call, you're with the dream team. And if you don't know what the freaking dream team is, we are literally the top team in Beachbody. So when you join in on this, you're not just joining any team. You're not like, I'm just going to try Beachbody out. You are following in the footsteps of so many successful people. And we're successful because we help many more people than any other team. And we also help people get more success than any other team in the whole company. And I want you to like let that sink in, because like that is freaking awesome and something that we are totally proud of. And so when you join in onto the dream team, we're going to hold your hand. Like, we're going to drag you along. We're going to say, like, this, where everything that we have ever done to become a success, you have your hands on also. And there are not a lot of companies. I mean, like, I don't know if you have Target over there, but like, there's Targets of the world. Whatever you join, whatever company you join into, people aren't joining in and saying, like, this is how I became so successful, join me. Like, people don't say that. But with this company and this team specifically, we actually say, this is what I've done to be successful. I want you to join me also. Because as a team, we have, like, I think that's why the dream team stands out more than any other team. We have found that we are more successful when we work together. And that is a huge, huge benefit of joining us. And so when I joined in, a little bit like how I did this and how I found success, and this is the exact same thing that you can do to find success is I joined in and I said, okay, what do I need to do? And immediately there was a new coach university, and you will actually have access to be doing, we're going to do one specifically for the UK and for our newer coaches. And we're going to do it as a team. And so I did the same thing. I did a new coach university. And I said, just tell me what to do. And so it was something every single day for 30 days. I logged in and somebody literally said, this is how you're successful. And within those 30 days, I became successful. Like, it worked. It literally worked. And it wasn't about like pushing a product on anyone. I didn't have to do anything that I felt uncomfortable doing. It was just simply sharing my story and then somebody giving me support on how to share my story and how to share and not sell. And I think that's one of the biggest things too. And if you've seen other MLMs over there, is we are not about pushing a product. It is all about sharing our journey. And that definitely sets us apart, because when you have more success when you share your journey. And that is really what we teach you, to share your journey, to help other people along the way, and really support others. So what I did is I did New Coach University for 30 days. And then you're like, well, if I do 30 days, then what's going to happen after that, right? You're just going to leave me? No, we take you and we throw you in another group if you want to be in that. There's always, like every single month at any time that you say, I don't know what to do. I need to be put somewhere. I need help. There is somewhere for you to go. Like, there is somewhere and somebody there to help you. And we have we have a private Facebook group where we all go in there, and it's to the point where you're like, somebody just asked me this question, I don't know what to say to them. And you just hop in there and you say that, and somebody's going to message you back. Like today, I just saw it happen within 3 minutes. Like, someone posted a question, somebody wrote back immediately. And that's the kind of support you get from this team, is you get, we're all here for you. There are a ton of trainings. And I think with this business, because you might be joining in, you're like, well, I don't really want to go balls to the wall. I just kind of want to see what it's all about. And I want to just help one person a month. That's okay, because this is a team where if you want to run, by all means, we are going to run with you. We are sprinting. If you want to walk, cool, we'll walk with you. And if you want to sit there and play in the sand and make sandcastles, we will sit there with you and do that with you. This business is all what you put into it. So whatever you want to do with this, we're there for you. And that's the kind of trainings that we give you. It's kind of tailored to what you want to do with this business, which for me, that's kind of exactly what I needed to hear, because I think we're all a little afraid of failure. Sometimes you're afraid to jump into something and what if I fail? What if I suck? And I'll say that if your one goal in this is to be better than you were yesterday and to help just one person along the way, inspire one person, you are already a success. And for me, able to inspire my family, my husband, my kids, I mean, that was a success. To be at my goal weight, to be feeling healthy, that was a success to me. So, I just am really truly blessed that I didn't let those limiting beliefs, and say I couldn't do this, or maybe, maybe this isn't for me, or I don't know the first thing to do. And I trusted in a team, and I trusted in the top team of Beachbody to lead me along the way and help me. And I will say, for me, it happened immediately. The success, I did what I was told, and I put my heart into it, and I put passion, and it worked out, and it will absolutely work out for you. And you joining in this team, I promise you, there will be no regrets. And I always think to myself, because if you're on this call, that means something sparked an interest in you. And I always think in 10 years, would I ever look back and say, man, I really regret getting fit and helping other people and joining into that? No. But in 10 years, you might look back and be like, man, I probably should have joined into that. I regret not doing that with those awesome people, because we're going to be here for a while, guys. You're going to keep seeing our faces, and you should be a part of this team. So I hope that helped with training. That was a lot more about passion than training, but we got you. Katie's going to talk, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm on fire. And it's so funny that you say that, because right when Bianca was talking and then you were talking, and I'm like, where do I sign up? And I'm like, oh, I already am. So it's really cool to be we do love our job. We are very appreciative and grateful, and we look at where we would be if it wasn't for taking that opportunity and just being curious about what the next step is. And and saying like, why not? You know, you don't want to look back and say, oh man, like I wish I would have done that. This is your opportunity to do just that. So there's a couple of things that I just want to bring to your attention and I want you to know about. And then I'm going to leave you with a call to action. So we are coming to the UK. All of us actually will be there. So we do hope to meet you and to welcome you and give you a hug and just invite you into the team and into the culture and see what it's all about. So there's a couple of things that you need to know. Number one, we are officially going to launch on Thursday, the 19th. So that is next week already, which is crazy to think about. So on Thursday, when we officially launch, I believe it's going to be between 10 and 12 in the morning. So between 10 a.m. BST to 12 p.m. BST, somewhere in that time frame is when they are going to actually make the site officially launching. Please understand that there's probably going to be some kinks. We don't anticipate that it will all be like, well, we want to anticipate that it'll be smooth, but we will get you signed up. You want to reach out to that person though who connected you with this call. And if you're not sure who that was, just connect to somebody that you met through this experience or who was in the sneak peek or wherever you got that email from, just to let them know that you're interested. So that was officially on Thursday. We will be launching on Friday. We are hosting at the Dartmouth House in London from 6 to 10 p.m. We are going to do a training, a kickoff, a celebration. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are just going to enjoy one another, get to know one another. It's called the Dream Team Launch Event. And there is a link set up in the sneak peek group. Emails will be sent out about it. You can sign up now. Also you can sign up on my like page at One Fit Fighter. It's on there. There's a couple places if you guys want to kind of give them some guidance as to where to go for that. So the Dream Team Live event is going to be Friday, and then on Saturday at the London, the Hilton on, I want to say Park. I didn't write it down all the way, but the Hilton in London is when our corporate event is going to be taking place. And there's two opportunities for you. There's a morning event and an afternoon event. And the doors for the morning event open at 8 a.m. and we kick off at 9. And then the afternoon event, so you can pick one or the other, whatever works best for your schedule. The doors open at 2 p.m. and then we kick off that second event at 3 p.m. So there's two options for you there. So lots going on next week. And then we are going to just dive into the week after that with a kickoff call where we're going to walk you through posting. We're going to walk you through what your coach online office is going to look like. We're going to walk you through signing up that first customer, that first coach. We are going to step by step walk you through that on the 25th of October. And then on the 30th, that is when we kick off our training. And the training is done on your own time. It is just access to a page called Vimify. And it is our training is all going to be taking place in there. And you can do it on your own time. There'll be weekly calls set up that if you're available, you can pop on live as well. So guys, the call to action is simple. You know, it's this. Are you curious? Are you curious about what this could mean for you and your family? Are you curious about what your next steps could be? Are you curious about what this would look like if you were successful or if you were involved with a community of people who are empowering you to be successful? What does that look like to you? If you could define your success, if you could really see yourself in 3 to 5 years, just like Baron had said, what would that look like to you if you were a part of this Beachbody community? Your call to action is to reach out to the person who invited you or whoever gave you this link or wherever you found this link. Reach out to them and just say, I want to know more. What are my next steps? Can we get on a call? Can you tell me about what it's going to look like to sign up, what I can expect from you as a mentor, what I can expect from the Dream Team United? Can you help me achieve my fitness goals first? What do you want? And just reach out to that person and chase your curiosity. And I don't know, I'm really excited. I'm so honored that these ladies joined me on this call today. And I don't have anything else. Do any of you guys have anything else that you want to mention?
Oh, I'm just excited to meet everybody.
Me too.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be such a fun event.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yay! Cool. Anyone else? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time. We cannot wait to meet you next week. We will get all that information out to you guys. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.